Hey, what's up everyone? I'm Rob Richards. I'm here at Alhambra Gym Mission Fitness Center. And on today's video for beast training, we're gonna take a look at 10 of my favorite abdominal exercises. Look, with summer just around the corner, or regardless the time of year, at some point we wanna start to cut up and reveal the abdominal muscles. And a lot of that comes down to how we train them. So within this video, I'm gonna break down 10 of my favorite abdominal exercises in no particular order. Feel free to look through all of them, pick out the ones that you want, and typically I'll perform 3 abdominal exercises within a circuit, usually 4 or 5 times a week before I start my main workout. 20, 30 repetitions, exercise 1, 2, and 3, and then repeat that in a circuit. First off, I'm gonna get started on my BCAAs from Beast. BCAAs are branched chain amino acids. Typically I'll perform abs and cardio early morning, fasted without food. So I still want to give my body some essential amino acids. Those are the building blocks that help our body sustain that positive nitrogen balance and also stop it from becoming catabolic when we start training and our body needs the fuel, typically that it will get from the muscle glycogen. So BCAAs, keep that topped up, and then I eat after my workout and add some protein powder in there too. Let's kick things off with the first of our 10 abdominal exercises. And number 1 on our list, we're gonna start with some Swiss ball double crunch. Now what I mean by this is we're down on the floor, I have my heels on a Swiss ball or stability ball, or you can use a bench. Basically I want my knees at a right angle. The benefit of this is it lifts my hips slightly off the ground when I bring my hands to my temple or cross them over my chest. As I start to crunch, I get a little of that lower hip tilt, as well as bringing my shoulders to crunch and meet in the middle. You'll see within these movements and a lot of the other abdominal movements, I'm not traveling too far. The abdominals really get activated through a relatively small range of motion. So breathing is important. I breathe in through the nose, fully exhale, and as I'm breathing out, I'm contracting the abdominals and finish off that crunch. So heels up on the ball, brings my knees closer. I can bring elbows to knees, or as you'll see towards the end, I can clasp the ball by locking my heels around, bringing it under my calf and my hamstring, grabbing the ball with my legs, and then as I lift that ball up, I tilt my shoulders up, getting a double crunch. This is a really easy, simple, and very effective exercise that can be performed at home, at the gym, and by anyone with any level of training. From here, we're gonna switch it up, focus more on the lower abdominals. Now, I wanna make a point that the upper and the lower abdominals are really the same muscle. You're not gonna be training the lower without the upper and vice versa. But what we're doing here is emphasizing which region of the body is tilting and allowing us to get that contraction. So with this, the lower body, we're bringing that hip tilt in. You'll start to be aware of this through a number of exercises in today's video, but by having the laces flat on the Swiss ball, arms stretched out as though in a plank or the upper of a push-up position, I'm gonna contract my abdominals, and in doing so, draw my knees under my body towards my chest, allowing the ball to come closer towards me and under me as I contract the abdominals. So in this instance, think of the abdominals acting kind of like a drawbridge, contracting to close up, bring that ball under, really allowing you to squeeze the abdominals hard before then rolling that ball back out as you take another breath in. This one's a tricky one, but once you get the hang of it, you'll find just how effective it is on the lower region of the abdominals. From here, we're gonna shift things up towards the sides, the obliques and the intercostals. Intercostals are the finger-like muscles that sit just under our pectorals here, as well as the obliques. 2 sets of opposing V-lines up here and also down here, which control our rotation of the torso, as well as to a degree some lateral flexion, as well as the erector spinae, which assists with that. So what we're doing with the ball on our third exercise is we're gonna scissor our legs. Our top leg over first, our bottom leg back, providing that we're sideways, hips stacked, resting on the ball, and position your feet up against a wall or some plates, something that allows you to anchor yourself in. Our lower hand, we're gonna rest onto the ball, bring our top hand, you see what I'm doing here? We're scissored, top hand up on to our temple, and then as we exhale and contract the abdominals, we're just bringing our shoulders on that lateral flexion, kind of like a half moon towards the side. So we're not coming forwards or back. Exhale, elbow, closing that arc between our hip and that elbow. 20, 30 repetitions here, exhaling on each and every repetition, and then switch it around. Change over, have the ball on the opposite side, switch hands, and repeat. Those are exercises 1, 2, and 3. Now we're gonna start to step up the intensity and look back at some other exercises for the lower and the rotation or the obliques, starting with exercise number 4. Now this one happens to be one of my personal favorites, especially for really detailing the lower and that much illicit sort of V shape that many of us want to get. Look, that's just part of our body shape, but by becoming lean enough, by focusing on our diet and what we eat, our nutrition, and also how we train, everyone's got that to a degree, so we're just allowing it to come out. And with this one, I like to use a decline bench. Now you can use a flat bench or on the floor using a mat, but the goal here is to anchor myself in, so I'm holding behind my head, bringing my legs up, having a slight bend in my knee, and pay attention to where my hips are. My hips are rolling off the bench, so my feet are really just coming over my eye line level. The goal here is not to project my legs up towards the ceiling. My legs are really just an anchorage for the weight, my body weight, the lower half of my body. So as I'm exhaling and I'm contracting the lower abdominals, it's that hip tilt as well, which allows me to pull the legs over my body, toes coming just to my eye line level, and I feel a really deep contraction in my abdominals, which I can further assist by squeezing and flexing them. So look, a lot of these exercises aren't to be rushed. It's not simply a case of getting through reps 1, 2, 3 and reaching your rep range. It's about really feeling every rep, engaging the muscle and forcing that contraction. We're not using a lot of weight, if any, with many of these abdominal exercises. So it all comes down to how we engage and contract the abdominals at the peak of each exercise. So exercise number 4, that's a great one. We can use the same decline bench, turn around, lock our legs in, and then you can perform some decline crunches here. But what I like to do here is hold a plate or a medicine ball or a dumbbell or even a kettlebell. Keep it close to my body but not touching. And then as I exhale, I'm rotating that weight left and right, keeping my eye line relatively straight, so I'm rotating my torso around and not moving everything with it. Relatively short and quite quick movements. You don't want to hold it there too long, but notice I am exhaling upon each rep. 50 reps here. Now, if that's a high level for you to build up to, start at 20 reps, move up to 30, 40, and 50. It can be done and you really feel a nice tight core after that exercise. So those are our exercises 1 through to 5. Let's push on exercises 6 through to 10. And for exercise 6, a supported knee lift, or otherwise known as VKR, vertical knee raise. With this one, I'm supporting my elbows on the bench, legs hanging down straight. As I exhale, I'm gonna draw my knees up, much like on exercise 2 with the Swiss ball. I'm drawing my knees up towards my chest, and just at the top there, my hips tilt forwards and I get this great contraction in the lower abdominals. So focus on your quality of tempo here, the quality of each repetition. Exhale, squeeze the abs, draw the knees up. From here, we're gonna move on to a cable, another favorite of mine, high cable crunch. I like to use a rope, but you can use a straight bar or a lap bar, anything that allows you to hold onto the bar and keep that arm position fixed. So let's go with the rope. I've got a strong grip, I'm keeping my elbows fixed, I'm not flexing or moving my arms. I'm gonna keep this linkage set, so as I exhale, I can draw my shoulders closer towards my hips. I'm not pulling the rope down towards the floor. That's the movement. Relatively small, but very focused contraction. I really engage, and this is one of the few exercises where I'm able to add a lot of weight in part because of the cable and the pulleys, but also that's a strong movement. To pull that weight 4-5 inches. Slow it down, focus on your breathing, feel the abdominals. Exercises 6 and 7. Let's finish off with our final 3 exercises of today's top 10 abdominal movements. Exercise number 7. I'm gonna pick up a plate, ideally one that you can get a good grip, all 4 fingers in. Can be a dumbbell, but I like a plate. We're gonna hold this behind our leg, like that. We're gonna inhale. We're gonna take a deep breath in through our nose, and as we do so, allow that weight to pull us down. Now this one, we're working the opposite side. As we contract, bring our shoulders back on that lateral flexion over towards the opposite side as we lift that weight up. Now notice, I'm not lifting the weight, I'm just holding on to the weight. All of the work done is by my core. So you may want to use your free hand, keep it on the opposite side from where you're holding that weight, and as you exhale and breathe, feel the abdominals have to contract to pull you over. This is what I refer to as touch training, and it's really useful to feel all the little intricacies of the muscles working and really connect your brain to actually what is going on. 12, 15, upwards to 20 repetitions on each side. It's a great exercise, and we're gonna pair this one with a complementary high cable one. Now this really inverts the movement from us having a weight down here lifting to having a weight up here and pulling down. It's the same principles. We're gonna hold onto that cable, keep the arm fixed, and crunch down. Except this time we're working the same side of the muscles as we're holding on to. So if you're doing the plate, you're working the left side. But if you're holding with the same hand on the cable, we're working the right side. So just keep that in mind. Maybe you wanna reverse them if you are supersetting them. Slow, controlled, focused execution of each rep. Now from here, we're gonna move on to another fantastic exercise. We're gonna finish off on exercise number 10. And this one is a hanging bar knee lift. Now notice I keep bringing knee lifts in and not straight leg. And the main reason is by keeping a straight leg, I engage a lot of my hip flexors, my iliopsoas, and not so much my abdominals and allow for that hip tilt. By keeping my knees drawn up towards my chest, it's still all of the same weight, but it's much more compact, tighter movement to allow me to tilt the hips and focus on the abdominal contraction. There we have it, 10 fantastic abdominal exercises. Look, I'm not saying you perform each and every one all of the time. Pick out 3, pick out 4 even, perform them as a circuit or individual exercises, 4 sets, and then the next workout that you do, rotate a few around. Typically, I like to pick a lower abdominal one, an upper, and some sort of side lateral or rotation as my main 3, and then I'll alternate them the next workout. Abdominals as well, you don't necessarily have to train them every day. I'm not saying you even should. Maybe 3-4 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, once on the weekend, 15 minutes, that's all you need. And if you want more information to find out everything from today's training video and the supplements that we used, head over to beastsports.com, check out my name, watch the full Beast training series, and see each individual ab exercise explained with the video and the photos. There we have it. Nothing left but to get to it. I'm Rob Richards. Thanks for watching. We're here at Mission Fitness Center. Hope to see you soon. Subscribe, connect, comment. Let me know what you guys think. We'll be back here real soon. Take care.